All right, guys, today I'm gonna be covering boring YouTube niches that make the most money, and I'm actually gonna be showing some of the smaller and newer channels within those niches that are up and comers that are really crushing it right now. Now, this video is meant to be educational, showing you which niches are the best, showing you which video ideas are the best, what strategies are working, and also how to monetize these channels too. But it's also meant to be inspirational and motivational to you. Hopefully you can, get some motivation from these and take a few things here and there for your own YouTube channel. With that being said, I always like to give the disclaimer that any business out there has a higher chance of failing than succeeding, and YouTube is no exception. That is one of the reasons why I make these videos, to make your probability of success significantly higher, but I go beyond that.
All right, quick break. I'm hanging out with my brother Zach right now. He's not a tech guy at all, and he made $214 in a single day on YouTube. And I just wanted to let you know that this week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we are hosting a free live one-time workshop. So one thing that people struggle with the most is finding their niche. And that is why we actually created an AI called the Niche Validator that's gonna help you find your niche, or help you dial in your niche if you already have one. And we're gonna be giving away this Niche Validator this week at a live workshop. And it's called the YouTube Content Advantage for Making Money in 2026. And it's happening on April 7th, 2026. So make sure you mark that down. And if you're struggling to find your niche, or you don't want to commit months or even years to a niche that ends up not being profitable, then this is for you. So click the link in the description in the pinned comment below. And once you register, hit add to calendar so it shows up on your Google, Apple, or Outlook calendar. And if for whatever reason you're watching this in the future, still check the link in the description in the pinned comment below, because we may be doing another live workshop in the future, and it'll tell you when. Now, you'll also be able to ask me questions live, so I look forward to meeting you. And you'll also get an update on how this guy is doing on YouTube as well. So see you this week, and back to your regularly scheduled programming.
All right, the first boring YouTube niche that I'm gonna be giving into is basically building local AI agents. Now, an example of that is this channel right here. 1.5 million views in 12 days. This is a brand new channel, and vidIQ says that they're already making about $2,000 to $5,000 a month with a brand new channel that's only posted one video. So basically what a local AI agent is a agent that you set up either on a computer or some sort of server that you typically have at your house that you can easily interact with. And of course, these local AI agents have exploded in popularity recently with the release of Claudebot, also known as OpenClaw now. And there are countless channels out there getting hundreds of thousands or even millions of views talking about Claudebot and OpenClaw. But it's not just those big channels that are getting views. Even tiny channels that are talking about other types of local AI agents are also blowing up, just like this one right here, Brinpully. So I'm gonna be focusing on these smaller, newer channels in this video, but just know that there's other channels that are making 6 figures, 7 figures, sometimes even 8 figures a year in these same niches. And it's also based on the character BMO from Adventure Time as well.
Perhaps the greatest challenge isn't creating intelligence, but understanding what it means to be truly human.
And yeah, this channel is gonna blow up. I would imagine if they do things correctly, they're gonna be making a lot more money than they're making right now, which is pretty epic. All right, next channel is going to be a bit controversial, and I do not condone this in any way, shape, or form. However, this channel is going to be Terry Zhao, and this is a channel that talks about reselling. Now, there's certain types of reselling that is completely ethical, where you just buy stuff low and then sell stuff high. And then there's a type of reselling that is very arguably unethical, and then there's kind of a lot of different shades between. But basically, it's where you kind of do replicas of real products out there and then resell those replicas. Or you buy the replicas and then resell them. And most of the time, of course, people know that they're buying replicas, but it's still unethical considering the original company isn't making any profit from their brand and stuff like that. So with that being said, I'm not condoning this at all. However, there is an entire industry of channels that talk about replicas. Many people argue that it is ethical and they think it's ethical, but I do not condone it. With that being said, this channel does talk about that. They talk about one-to-one replicas and reselling, where some of these replicas are so close to the real thing that you literally can't tell the difference unless you are an expert. Now, you might be looking here and you might be thinking this channel is not making any money. He's only making like $68 to $205 a month. But in reality, this channel is monetizing in a completely different way because they have a link tree where, first of all, you can buy the replicas and they have like affiliate links and that kind of thing to them. But more importantly, they have a course and they have coaching on how to actually make money with replicas. And so I happen to know that this channel is making at least 6 figures, even with this tiny channel that's only getting probably about 30 to 50,000 views, somewhere around there. They're making at least 6 figures from this channel. And there are tons of channels that cover reselling. Some of them cover replica reselling, some of them do not. There's also a lot of channels that just cover replicas in general, whether or not they agree with them or not. So for instance, this channel right here, Wrist Check, made these videos on the best Rolex super clone. This fake Submariner is insane. So that's just an example of people making money, whether or not they're making money directly from the replicas or just covering the replicas, or they're making money from just talking about reselling in general. There are many, many different niches that are all about reselling, whether it's ethical or not, online. And this is a tiny channel that's making really good money doing it. Now, the next niche is AI coding and AI workflows, specifically for beginners. And this is an example of a channel that does this, Leon Van Zyl, and he makes a lot of videos on how to use Claude Code, how to use OpenClaw, etc. And he does it from a beginner perspective, basically just pretending like you don't know anything about any of these.
I'm going to teach you how to build AI agents that can see, speak, and think for themselves without writing any code.
Now, when we were doing the research for this video, it showed that he was making about 3 to 8K per month just from AdSense alone. But AdSense is not where he's really making his money. You see, if you look at the links in his About section as well as his description, you're gonna see where the real money is coming from. For one, he's got a school group here that only costs about $7 a month. It's got over 600 members, meaning he's probably making around $5,000 a month from this school group. Plus, he's got affiliate links and other links where you can either donate money to him or, affiliate links for different products. And those are probably making him a good amount of money as well. So he's definitely making at least 6 figures a year from this channel. I would imagine he's making minimum multiple 6 figures a year. And there are countless channels that are doing this. Some of the coding channels are making like $1 million a month. And of course, these are the ones that are focusing on AI. For instance, this guy, Matt Wolf, revealed that he was making over $700,000 a month with this channel. And if you look at his estimated monthly earnings, it says he's only making 2 to 5K a month. And by the way, that's one thing that you really want to keep in mind is that if you just look at the money they're making from AdSense, that might be a tiny amount, but for a lot of channels, if they're in the right niche and if they're monetizing correctly, can make far, far more from back-end monetization methods. Just as an example, on this channel, I make about $20 per 1,000 views from AdSense alone, but I make over $400 per 1,000 views, and that's actually on the conservative side from all of the other methods. And that's something I reveal exactly how to do in this live workshop that we're doing this week. So click that link in the description in the pinned comment below to learn more about that. It's completely free, so there's literally no reason to not attend. Once you click and sign up, make sure you put it in your calendar as well. And honestly, Matt went from pretty much zero to making almost $1 million a month in just 3 years. I mean, if you look back at his channel, he was making content on stuff that had nothing at all to do with AI. And he was just getting nowhere with that content. And then 3 years ago, he started talking about AI and his channel absolutely blew up. So yeah, sometimes it really pays to pivot niches, which again is another thing that I'll talk about in the live training. So click the link in the description of the pinned comment below, because you might be stuck in a niche that's just a dead end and it just leads to nowhere. You can very easily pivot to a niche that is significantly better. Or if you don't want to make educational content like how-tos and that kind of thing for AI and tech, what you could do is just start a news channel on AI and tech. And that's exactly what Fireship did. This is a channel that gets 6 million views a month. According to View Stats, they're making about $16,000 to $45,000 a month. And according to vidIQ, they're making $38,000 to $113,000 a month. And keep in mind, this is literally just from AdSense alone. If you count all the other stuff, they are making far, far more. They, of course, are monetizing in other ways. For instance, they have sponsorships like Hostinger. They lead people to the Fireship website. They have affiliate links, et cetera, et cetera. So if they're monetizing correctly, they're making a heck of a lot more than that. Now, their most viewed video was God tier developer roadmap.
We're going to travel to the deepest, darkest depths of the software engineering field.
That video got 8 million views and made over $40,000. All right, guys, but you might be thinking, Shane, I am not interested in tech. I want to hear about other stuff and how other people are making money. Well, here is another niche, which is basically just the religion niche in general, and showing a channel that's been kind of blowing up in this niche recently. It's called It's God's Plan. Now, this channel is making $759 to $2,000 a month just from AdSense alone. They're probably too new to be monetizing correctly, but they recently have been blowing up with these types of video. Keeping a man happy is simple, but most wives are too selfish to even try.
Isn't it crazy that so many married men absolutely hate their lives?
Now, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but this is kind of a contrarian take. And specifically, you know, this is in the religious niche, and specifically Christianity. There's lots of other channels out there in this niche, like Wes Huff, for instance, Bible history, and more. This channel makes $4,000 to $11,000 a month. And of course, there's other ways that they can monetize. There's channels like Redeemed Zoomer that make cartoon versions of basically Christian videos. They're making $5,000 to $15,000 a month. And then there's my client, Damien and Kennedy, who's making a full-time income from their YouTube channel, which they just started. And it says they're only making $263 to $790 in AdSense per month, but they're making a full-time income from this channel because they're monetizing correctly on the back end. And they're all about basically, you know, helping Christians find their ideal partner that basically has the same values as you. And then if you already have your ideal partner, optimizing your relationship, making sure that your relationship is as good as possible. So this is an awesome channel. And I also just did a video where I interviewed them. So really good stuff. So yeah, I think you can see that this is a big niche and there's all these kind of sub niches within the bigger niche. There's probably like thousands of sub niches within the bigger niche of, you know, Christianity or religion. And you can talk about that stuff and make a full-time income from YouTube doing it. So when I'm showing you these niches, like, I don't mean you need to do the exact niche. Just think of all the sub niches, all the other niches that are similar to these that you could potentially do. And this is one thing I really help people with, because one of the biggest things people struggle with is picking their niche. And that's where we're going to be focusing on in the live workshop that we're doing this week. So click that link in the description and the pinned comment below to attend it. And then finally, I've got a super boring niche, which is basically helping people get jobs, but specifically helping people get jobs in the trades. And this particular channel, Zach of All Trades, is ran by my own brother, Zach. So basically, I convinced him to make a YouTube channel. He really didn't want to do it, but his first video ever blew up, got over 800,000 views, and 1 month after posting his video, he was already making $214 a day from his channel. He's now making a heck of a lot more than that from his channel. Last time we checked, about 6 months after this channel started, he had a $510 day, so he's absolutely crushing it. Plus, he's making money from affiliate marketing and other ways as well. And by the way, we're gonna be giving updates on Zach as well during the live training. He might actually show up to it as well. Sometimes he shows up. So click that link in the chat or the description in the pinned comment below. And do not miss out on the live because we're only doing it this one time. Now, Zach is not the only one in this niche. This is actually one of my favorite niches, which is basically just kind of semi-replacing most of the current education system and just helping people get jobs without having to go 6 figures in debt to get a college degree. So this is something I've talked about a lot on my channel, and we've had countless client after client after client where all they did is basically they got a job and then they just teach people how they can get the same job. GRC for Mere Mortals is an example of a channel that's crushing it, doing this exact model, teaching people how to get into cybersecurity jobs, specific one called GRC. The Financial Controller is another example of a channel that basically helps accountants become financial controllers. He's crushing it. And I could just keep going on and on and on for all the different types of people that we've helped in this type of niche. It's actually one of my favorite types of niches, and it's so useful and it's so good. Because just imagine if you had a time machine, like whatever job you're in right now, imagine if you had a time machine and you could go back in time and tell yourself exactly what to put on your resume, what skills to have, what projects to make, etc., and how to interview to get the job that you currently have. I bet you could tell yourself, you'd just be able to give yourself the cheat sheet, right? It would be like a cheat code, right? Well, that's what you can do for other people. And you can charge them a lot of money to do that because they're going to get the job and they're going to make hundreds of thousands or millions of extra dollars over their lifetime because of it. And they're going to be able to save a ton of time and not have to go to college, etc. So this is one of my favorite niches, and it's just an absolute no-brainer value proposition. You can cover more like broad jobs, just jobs broadly, kind of like Zach of All Trades, or you can cover very, very specific jobs as well. But yeah, attend the live training. If any of these sound interesting to you, I'm going to be showing people how to pick their niche, how to make the right videos, and how to make it happen with a channel that you can actually make a full-time income from. So attend that live training, click the link in the description in the pinned comment below. And also, if you want to check out that interview I did with Damien and Kennedy, check that out by clicking right here.